Okay, so I'm going to go through today what Spelling Shed covers. You might have heard of Spelling Shed before or just wanted a little bit more information about what it is and the ideas behind it and what it includes. So Spelling Shed has been designed by a team of teachers. Most of us who work here have been teachers, mostly in primary schools. It's built with students, teachers and parents in mind and aims to make spelling fun for students as well as simple for adults to manage. So it was launched in 2017 by Rob Smith and Martin Saunders, and now well over 20 million children from around the world have access to Spelling Shed resources. We've continued to research the best spelling principles and pedagogical practices. This has been applied to the Spelling Shed scheme. So what does Spelling Shed include? So the proven approach to teaching spelling. The scheme is based on the most up-to-date, cutting-edge research into the teaching of spelling, UK's #1 spelling app in the world, and it's also used worldwide. EdShed is in 12,000 schools, plus teachers, and another 27,300 teachers in schools around the world. And well over 20 million children around the world have had access to Spelling Shed resources. I'm just going to make sure, yeah, we're all good. So what's included within Spelling Shed? So it's a whole school scheme linked with the national curriculum. It's got full curriculum coverage. You have full lesson plans, PowerPoints to go with those lessons, and then printable resources and worksheets alongside it. You also have access to all Spelling Shed games, which you can allocate to children for them to practice at home or also use that in school. We have a grammar arcade, which are also grammar games to go alongside these. A teacher hub, so you can manage pupils' records, teachers and classes and track who is using the online games to practice their spelling patterns. You've got online tracking and data analysis, and you can set online assignments and homework and monitor this from the teacher side. We also have Hive Games, which can be a nice alternative to the weekly spelling test, which is sort of like a live interactive spelling test with devices. And then our newest feature is we have something called Mastery Zone, which is AI driven and will present spellings using different sort of scaffolding to pupils. And then the more they get correct, or they will start to, the AI system will start to direct them and give them different focus words based on the level that they are getting correct and incorrect. So that's a really lovely feature. So what is Spelling Shed? So it's based on the most up-to-date research into the teaching of spelling. It uses proven approaches to teach spelling. It's based on phonics, and it also includes within the whole scheme morphology, etymology, and supports orthographic mapping. So we have all of these skills that are woven throughout all of the year groups. It explores spelling patterns, provides consistent approach to teaching spelling across the school, and the lesson plans are really detailed. You can literally just pick it up and go with it. It's fully planned and fully resourced. So with those different skills that are woven throughout the scheme, here we've got the phonological knowledge, and they're just some examples here of our activities. So stages are the same as year groups within Spelling Shed. So we have some year 1 and year 2 work here with phoneme mapping, but also the phoneme mapping comes up later as well within Key Stage 2. So it goes throughout the scheme. Because often what I found when I was a teacher, particularly after year 2, you kind of stopped using all of that phonics terminology, whereas it's still relevant and still really, really helpful when learning more complex spellings in Key Stage 2. And then we've also got orthographic knowledge. So here we've got some year 5 activities using syllables to be able to map words. And then etymological knowledge, so looking at the etymology of words and where words have come from and using their meaning and origin in order to help them help you understand their meaning and their spelling as well, and apply this spelling to lots of other words, such as we've got the prefix in there. We've also got morphology throughout it. We have our really lovely morphology matrix, which are really, really popular. So changing the meaning of words by adding a smallest amount of meaning to it, such as a prefix or suffix. And we've also got these woven throughout the lesson plans too. So if these terms sort of feel a bit overwhelming to you right now, we've got them all explained within the lesson plan. And we also have loads of other free webinars on each of these on our webinar page. Our spelling shed scheme is for years 1 to 6. For years 1 and 2, most phonics schemes won't cover all the spelling objectives, so we recommend using spelling shed alongside whichever phonics scheme you are using. There are flexible timings to fit with your school's needs, and I'll show you that with a lesson plan in a moment. Lessons are planned to be once per week. Year 1 lessons, 30 minutes long. Year 2, 45 minutes, progressing to an hour when the phonics scheme is completed. And then years 3 to 6 lessons are an hour. What lots of schools choose to do, if they don't have a full hour and can't find time, because I know we're all so stretched for time as it is instead of teaching a one-hour lesson, they might split that lesson up into maybe 3 20 minutes and teach it throughout the week. And I'll show you how you can do that when I get to the lesson plans in a moment. So this is what the teacher hub looks like. You have got medium-term plans. You've also got spelling shed. It says and phonics shed medium term plan, but you can alter that for whichever scheme that you are following. If you do use phonics shed and want to know how this works alongside it, it addresses different objectives, but they are planned with each other in mind. So the children wouldn't come across a word within spelling shed that they wouldn't be able to decode or have been taught within phonics shed. And then we have all of the different word lists, assignments, hives, and all the planning alongside it there. Here's an example of our medium-term plan. So this is a year 3 one. They're all available to download for years 1 to 6. And we have the corresponding PowerPoints, resources, and word lists for each. So we do have words that go with each spelling pattern and each objective, but we're really trying to teach that spelling rather than teach a list of, say, 10 words that we hold within our short-term memory. By teaching things like etymology and morphology and using our phonics knowledge, we want to be able to really try to teach the spelling pattern so that it opens up all of these different words that we can now spell, not just sort of 10 within a list. So here is an example of a year 3 spelling shed lesson. So the way some schools do split this, which I mentioned earlier, is they might do the revise and introduction as a 20-minute session, the main teaching input as a 20-minute session, and then the independent activity at a 20-minute session. So you can split it like that if that works for you. So the main objectives are from the National Curriculum Appendix for Spelling. Each lesson's been designed, so you can be taught as a single one or a number of sessions that I mentioned over the week. And this is how I mentioned that some people decide to divide that. So what's included? So this is a year 4 one. So we have our objectives here. Each week a set of words is provided, and those words are examples of the spelling pattern, which children can practice on our games. So we also revise. Each lesson contains a revision session, which should last approximately 5 minutes, and children will revise sounds and spelling patterns from previous weeks in the scheme. Here I've taken a quick video of part of the PowerPoint that would be going with this part of the lesson. If I play it there for you, so you can just have a quick look get a gauge of what they look like. So we have a recap of last week's words before starting this week's. So it's lovely that all of that is done for you. So then, once you've done that, we've got the introduction. So children will be acquainted with words of the week. I'll play this, which goes alongside it. The lists are organised by spelling patterns, sounds or affixes, and this section is designed to take about 10 minutes. There are a number of different activities that may be included in the introduction that also feature within the main teaching input, which you can see the main activity section. And the main input section is designed to take about 20 minutes, and here teachers and pupils will explore the words of the week. They'll examine aspects such as the number of syllables, sounds, and morphology of words. And there are a range of activities that appear in the introduction and main teaching input section of the lesson. And as you can see within this lesson plan, all of the resources are numbered. Even the slides of the PowerPoints are numbered, so you know exactly what's being referred to. So it makes it really easy to pick up and put down, particularly if, say, you have another member of staff teaching the other bit of the lesson. If you do decide to split this up and say you have a job share or PPA cover, or just cover for whichever reason, it makes it really lovely and consistent. So what's included? So we have the lesson sequence. The scheme has the progression built in for you. And in year 6, stage 6, there are 10 lessons based on challenge words, which are the statutory words. So they can be learned early and apply these to your writing assessments, because obviously we'll have SATs within year 6. And then we have challenge weeks. What they are lists of words made from the statutory word list found in the national curriculum in Appendix 2. Stage 2's challenge words are the common exception words found on page 10 of the appendix document. So if you come across, if you want to get a free trial and you're not sure what challenge weeks are, they're those statutory words. There's lots of different online games for children to be able to play. You can set these games so that they are restricted to just particular spelling lists that either you have created and set, or the ones that go alongside our planning. So you can also create your own lists if you wanted to, say that go alongside a topic. We have, for example, Squirrel Scurry, which I've created a quick video for to show you. And the children really love these games. They get them really, really motivated for learning their spellings, and it creates different league tables. So you can have that on as a bit of background competition if you wish to. And they really turn quite a dry subject into something a bit more exciting. And we have penalty spell out too, just taking this from our YouTube video. Let's turn that off. So there's one there for the design for footballs. We've also got one with horses on, one with a truck with the letters going on the back of a truck. We have Squirrel Scurry, and we have quite a few other different vocabulary games as well. Now, Mastery Zone is an AI-driven EdShed tool that ensures each pupil's learning is focused on the words and spelling patterns they need to master to progress. So powered by our own little nano bees from Spelling Shed, Mastery Zone begins by guiding each pupil through a small diagnostic test to determine their strengths and areas for improvement, and then we'll present them with words, suitable words following this. So this is what it looks like, and this is how it explains it to the child. So you as the teacher don't need to set anything in this, which is brilliant. They don't need any intervention. It will just base it off what the child answers and spells these different words. And from the teacher side, you can then see their focus words and how far through they are from mastering these. Grammar Arcade is another amazing selection of games, and these our grammar resources come as a package within Spelling Shed, so they just come with it. There isn't anything separate. We also have teaching PowerPoints that go alongside grammar. We don't have lesson plans, but we have teaching PowerPoints, quizzes, and now Grammar Arcade, which is really, really lovely resources. So you can click your year group, and again, you can set these for the pupils, select your objective, and then use the games to be able to practice and focus on these objectives, which are really nice. Just forward to show you some other games. And then I'll just scoot through this one. So there's loads and loads of really lovely ones. We just had Punctuation Pirate. This is Pairs to the Pond. Some really nice games within Grammar Arcade. So we have downloadable overviews for years 1 to 6 with our grammar resources, presentations and quizzes can be set for pupils as assignments and also generated as printable worksheets. And then we also have our Grammar Arcade games. So assignments within EdShed, whichever EdShed product you have, are the way of digitally giving children work. So we recommend this as a way of giving pupils their spellings. There's also the option to limit lists, so only active assignments are seen until the required games are played. So you can limit them to just playing and seeing what you as the teacher have set. So assignment sets can be used to assign multiple scheme lists automatically, so you don't have to set them every week. You can pre-plan this and set them over a course of the term or even the whole year if you wanted to automatically be set for the pupils in your class. And then down here, these images are the different assignment ranks, which recognise accuracy as well as game difficulty, and they go up in these ranks depending on the scores that they get. Here's an example of an overview of the class data. So you've got the objectives across the top, and then colour-coded chart of how well the children have got on. It's a really lovely way to be able to spot any big misconceptions within the class or address any objectives again. And you can also then delve down to the pupils themselves and see which words they've been spelling, and if there are any they continually get incorrect, what they've been spelling those as, and you can then set those back to the pupils so that they can practice. So with a child's view, you can see here, this is a child who have got some assignments set for them. You can see the notification number there, and you can see the objective there. So when they click on it, they'll get our spelling games, which we've just looked at. If you needed or wanted to either additionally or instead of use paper-based homework, there's also printable worksheets for every lesson too. Now, Hive Games are played live with all pupils spelling the same word at the same time, so they would all need their own device. And there's another way that you can do a spelling test if you wanted to do something similar or just a fun competition. So the teachers control the Hive game. A league table is shown in between rounds, or you can hide that if you wanted it as more of a formal test. Additional data is reported to the Teacher Hub with the grid of incorrect or correct spellings to show any trends from the pupils that have joined. And Hive Games can be used as a whole class assessment, but also really fun. Children really love Hive Games. In terms of pricing, you can go to edshed.com and you can take out a free trial. The only limitation you've got on a free trial is that you can only see one lesson's worth of PowerPoint and resources for each year group. But you can see all of the games, you can add pupils if you wanted to, so you could really use it within the class and see if the pupils like the games first of all. But we also have our pricing here. So we price about £2 per pupil, or we've got a yearly individual teacher subscription if you weren't going to get this for the whole school. We've won lots of lovely awards recently, which is really, really nice. Lots of schools have us. I think we're in about 50% of all UK schools now. But you can get a 30-day free trial if you wanted to. It cancels automatically after 30 days. You don't have to worry about inputting card details. So that's a nice, really easy way to try it out if you wanted to. If you have any more questions, please email support@edshed.com. We also have training available online. You can do full day, half a day, or 2 twilight sessions. We've got some really amazing analysing spelling training, and our trainers are fantastic if you'd be interested in that going forward. And then also on social media. On our YouTube channel, our EdShed YouTube channel, we've got loads of tutorials. If, say, you want to try this and you're not sure how to add pupil accounts on there, it's all